So the most famous number 22, and this one I'm actually really excited about, is this guy right here, Mike Bossy.
That's an awesome
Fantastic.
picture.
Yep. Awesome picture. One of my favorites. I definitely PC him. I like to collect his autograph cards, but I was really excited. And I'm going to upfront say today was crazy. The last couple of days have been crazy. I don't think I did as much research as I wanted to on Bossy, but we have a lot of good stuff anyways. Runners up at number 22 were Daniel Sedin, Rick Tocchet, and Dino Ciccarelli, which threw me for a loop because I remember Ciccarelli on the North Stars, and he was number 20. But that was the only team he was 24. He was 22 the rest of his career. So it kind of threw me for a little loop. But once I looked it up, I was good. All right, Mike Bossy, right winger from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Bossy was the 15th overall pick in the 1977 NHL amateur draft by the New York Islanders. Bossy played in 752 regular season NHL games over a 10-season NHL career. Bossy played his entire career with the New York Islanders. All right, for his awards and accomplishments, even he had a short career, he has lots of awards and accomplishments. Hall of Famer, 4-time Stanley Cup winner, 1977-78 Calder winner, 1-time Conn Smythe winner, 3-time Lady Byng winner, 5-time NHL first All-Star team selection, 3-time NHL second All-Star team selection, 7-time NHL All-Star game selection, named one of the 100 greatest NHL players by NHL.com, ranked number 12 in the Athletics top NHL players in the post-expansion era, and his number 22 is retired by the New York Islanders. Over the course of his NHL regular season career, Bossy had 573 goals, which puts him 22nd all time, 553 assists, which is actually 126th all time, 1,126 points, which puts him tied at 62nd with Joe Nieuwendyk. Bossy made the playoffs in all 10 of his NHL seasons, compiling 85 goals, 75 assists for 160 points in 129 NHL playoff games played. I know Josh likes to say this isn't a math show, but that's more than a point per game. I actually didn't do the math. But
that is more than a point per game.
It's more than a point per game. I'm glad we could figure that much out. All right, throwing out Bossy's 10th and final season, where his back was an absolute mess and his knees were shot, Bossy never scored less than 91 points in a season. In those 9 seasons, Bossy had 7 seasons of 117 or more points. Again, throwing out that 10th season, Bossy never scored less than 51 goals in a season.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's kind of nuts for how short his career was.
Even his rookie year, huh?
Yeah, yep. Of those 9 seasons, he had 4 seasons in the 50-goal range and 5 seasons in the 60-goal range. Best season of his NHL career from a point standpoint was his 1981-82 season, where Bossy had 64 goals, 83 assists for 147 points in 80 games played. I love this picture. If you're watching on YouTube, it's one of my favorite pictures ever of Bossy. So Bossy is outright one of the most prolific goal scorers in NHL history. He is the NHL's all-time leader in average goals scored per regular season game. He holds the NHL's 3rd highest all-time average points scored per regular season game, and is the 2nd of 5 players to score 50 goals in 50 games, being the first to accomplish this feat 36 years after Maurice Richard did it. He tied for the record for most 50-goal seasons with Wayne Gretzky and Alexander Ovechkin with 9, though Bossy's were consecutive as opposed to Gretzky's and Ovechkin's being non-consecutive. He thus is the sole record holder for most consecutive 50-goal seasons. I just wanted to show how much he's a prolific goal scorer, and I think this picture matches with that, what I just read, where his stick's on fire. It's pretty fun. Bossy retired after 10 seasons as his back was absolutely a mess. His knees were getting shot, and he didn't feel like he would ever be able to play to his expectation level again. So he called it quits, which I give a lot of respect to. And even that last season, I think I'm going off the top of my head, I think he had 38 goals, which is pretty good for, basically hobbling around on your last leg and back.
Do you know what made him such a good goal scorer? Like,
well, he had super quick shot, hard shot. And he actually said he never really aimed. He just fired and tried to be quick and change angles, kind of like Bedard, and would just fire away. And that's kind of what he did. But he also said, and his teammates have said this, if you watch highlights, you can see where he puts it 5-hole. But Bossy said he was able to get the puck up on edge, and he could actually shoot the puck at the 5-hole, but the puck would be like upright. So it would have a narrower spot it could go through, but the goalie's legs coming down, a wider 5-hole to go in. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, he's just one of those guys. He never said he was really a sniper, but he could just fire and find, he obviously knew where he was shooting. But it's the speed of his shot, the quickness, just a great prolific goal scorer. So to me, Bossy might be, and I've said this before on our show, one of the greatest what ifs in hockey history. What if he could have played healthy hockey for 15 to 20 years? And what would his final numbers be? But it just wasn't meant to be. Plus, Bossy is somewhat overshadowed in his era by obviously Gretzky and the Oilers. He kind of came in at the wrong time, I guess, because he's completely overshadowed by Gretzky. And if you read some earlier interviews, Bossy actually held animosity towards that. He was kind of bitter that, the Islanders win 4 cups, but he's still like, no one really gave us credit. It's all about Gretzky and the Oilers during that decade, which, let's be honest, Gretzky and the Oilers were a machine, and Gretzky being the greatest player of all time. After his playing career, Bossy became the vice president of Titan Hockey Sticks. He also did broadcast work for the Quebec Nordiques. He then expanded his horizons and did morning radio show work, which I love, as a host of a morning program in Montreal. And he also had some other business ventures. Now, Josh, here's pretty interesting. After retiring, Bossy was unable to find a job with an NHL organization for 15 years until the Islanders hired him as an ambassador. Obviously, that seems very odd. He wanted to work in the game. He said he thought when Brian Trottier got hired as a head coach, I can't remember if it was in the Islanders or who it was for, that he would be brought on staff because him and Trottier were like best friends. And they were roomies on the road when they played. They talked about running a team, but it just kind of wasn't meant to be. And I don't think Trottier was a coach for that long, maybe 1 year, 2 years as a head coach.
Well, I was going to ask if he had like an abrasive personality.
I don't think so. You read everything about him. He seems like a great guy. Lady Bing winner. Like he wasn't a thug or anything on the ice, but I don't know, maybe there was something there, but it just was very odd. It was something that kind of bugged him for, the rest of his career, basically, until he got with the Islanders after 15 years of being ambassador. Unfortunately, most people know Mike Bossy passed away in 2022 at the age of 65. All right, Josh, fun, interesting facts. Nickname was Boss. Makes sense. I couldn't find why he wore 22. I did some research and didn't find anything. Mike Bossy is the only player to record 4 game-winning goals in one playoff series.
Wow.
It was the 1983 conference finals. Bossy was a member of the Trio Grande line, which consisted of Hall of Famers Brian Trottier at center, Clark Gillies at left wing, and Mike Bossy at right wing. I think I like the Trio Grande line. That's nice. I like that name.
Yeah, I wonder where that came from, though.
I have no clue. I think, did I read? No, I didn't. I can't remember. I'm sure someone will tell us, or it's probably pretty easy to find. I know there's a whole Wikipedia entry on the Trio Grande line. Bossy is one of those players. He scored a goal in his first game, not on his first shot. Bossy's rookie season, here we go, rookie season, Josh. Bossy's rookie season goals of 53 was an NHL record, which stood until Teemu Selanne absolutely obliterated it with 76 goals in his rookie season of 1992-93. At the time of Bossy's 500th goal, he was the fastest player to 500 goals in NHL history. However, this was broken by Wayne Gretzky and then Mario Lemieux. Here's one I didn't know. The Los Angeles Kings acquired Wayne Gretzky in the summer of 1988, and owner Bruce McNall and general manager, I think I don't know, is it Roji Vachon?
Yeah.
Each each invited Bossy to sign with the team as a free agent. However, Bossy declined this offer again, believing he would not have been able to meet expectations. But that's a great what if, too. Could you imagine Gretzky and Bossy playing on the same team? That would have been pretty nuts. Final fun fact, Mike Bossy averaged 57.3 goals per season during his career.
That's insane.
Yeah. Obviously, Gretzky's up there, but I just love Mike Bossy. I remember watching him as a kid playing, loved him as a player, still PC him. I'm very sad when he passed, but a great NHL player. So Mike Bossy's rookie card, 1978-79 OPG, number 115. PSA 10 has a pop of 7, Josh.
Jeez.
This might be the lowest gem rate we've seen, 0.46%. I don't remember any other ones being that low, but that's pretty low. Last sale was for $43,200 US on November 17th, 2022 via Heritage Auctions. So if another one comes up, you're going to have to pony up a pretty penny. But I love this card. I don't have it. I have a raw copy. I don't have any graded copies, but it's one of my favorite cards. Love Mike Bossy. Loved him as a player. So that's what we got for Mr. Bossy at number 22.